Hey guys, it's time for another episode of Damien Ruins Horror Movies. My name is Damien, and tonight is a special episode. I know that this is not an original idea. It was when I first thought of it, because I saw this Elysian Pumpkin Patch sampler. One of my friends who works with beer, he had posted something about it and was bitching about the cost. And I thought, ooh, I've only had one of those. That'd be a good one to do a review on. I've never reviewed beer before. And then like the next day, I saw other people that I'm friends with or fans of or acquaintances, you know, part of the YouTube horror community. And a bunch of people are already doing it. It's like the 1 year I think of it. But I'm going to do it anyway. And as per usual, this episode is brought to you by Cool Dude Inc. There's a link in the notes. Go down, click on it, and make yourself look good. Let's let the whiskey bats take it away. But while you're listening to them, I'm going to open this bad boy up. Woo! Oh, yeah. Up first, we got this Dark O' the Moon Pumpkin Stout. The label looks good. And with the help of Yoda, try this bad boy out. I think Yoda needs new batteries. Let's see. Yep. That's a pumpkin stout, all right. Whoa. It does have a darker taste to it. It's a lot of like spice. It's good though. I do like pumpkin beers. I don't necessarily like the idea of sitting down and drinking 6 of them, which is why I'm kind of glad that they're seasonal, because it makes a nice little, you know, it's like the McRib. Every so often you're like, oh, pumpkin. And normally you can only get, in my area at least, you can only get one of these. That's why I'm going to do that one last, because I've already had it. But these other 3 I've never had before. I'm not sure how other people taste test because I haven't watched their videos. Because if I'm gonna do something and I see somebody else has already done it and I'm a fan of theirs, I'll watch it, but I'll do mine first because I want it to be a coincidence when I rip them off. It's bad enough I'm ripping off their idea. I don't know if it's like wine tasting and they take a little sip and then they move on to the next one, but I'm not doing it that way. I'm gonna drink this whole one and I'm gonna talk about a movie with no spoilers. Because I got 4 movies on my list that I've watched recently that we're going to talk about. And I think we'll talk about the best one first. Black Phone, which you can watch on Peacock. I'm sure you have to have the premium subscription. I know you can subscribe to it for free, but you don't get as much content. So if you subscribe, it's like $4.99 a month.
$5, Buster.
So Black Phone, I liked it. And it's funny because I never heard anything but good things about it until I watched it. And then I started seeing people like, I don't know. Didn't really like it. I liked it better the second time. I don't know. I liked it the first time. Although I watched half of it one night and then I watched half of it another night. I don't think that has anything to do with it. It takes place in 1978. They captured 1978 beautifully. I was barely alive then, but I'm imagining that like 81 and 78 probably didn't look too much different. So the look of it and everything gave me memories of like 1981. I say 81 because I think that's when I started kindergarten. I said no spoilers, so there's not a lot I can say about this movie. It's written by Joe Hill, Stephen King's son. It doesn't really have... There's Stephen King-ness to it, certain things. I liked it because it kind of left you guessing, because you're kind of like it steers you in a couple directions about like who done it, you know. I mean, it's definitely not a mystery, but there's certain things where it's like there's parallels you can see where it's like, oh wait a minute, this is, oh, I know what's happening, and you just kind of guess and it leaves you hanging. It's like, I wonder how this is gonna, because just I'm explaining this horribly because I didn't like practice. I gotta hurry up and finish this. I got 3 more beers and 3 more movies to talk about. It's good. I just can't think of anything to say for it. It's worth watching. I think if you watch it, you might know what I mean. And it's not like there's nothing to say about it. It's just I managed to keep the movie a secret to myself until I was ready to watch it. I knew like the littlest about it. And because sometimes that's just how I like going into movies. Like the less I know, then I'm not disappointed and I'm kind of figuring it out. Especially like a good horror movie, kind of like this, because if you don't know what's going on, then you're kind of on the same ride that the characters are on. So that's always fun. All right, I'm going to chug this. All right, one down. This video might get interesting as we go. What's the next flavor? Uh-oh, coffee pumpkin ale. Yeah, that's kind of what the Dark of the Moon kind of tasted like. It kind of had like this pumpkin spice coffee, so I wonder what this is going to taste like. Since I just drank that though and it's dark, this will probably not taste as strong, even though it actually is the coffee. What's the percentage on this thing anyway? I gotta take out my glasses to read, because I'm old. This is 6% alcohol. This one, oh, 7.5 for the Darko Lantern. Or the Dark of the Moon. Darko Lantern would have been a cooler name. Sort of. Alright. Ready? Going for the Punkachino. Get it? I'll put the label out so I'm classy, like I'm in a commercial. I think this would have definitely tasted different had I not done that one first. I didn't look at what they all were. I just saw that they were all Halloween. And by the way, because today is August 23rd that I'm recording this, and there's already pumpkin beer in the stores, and some stores, like there's a Target that's got some Halloween stuff. The one near me doesn't, because they're like remodeling, so the whole place is fucked. Halloween's the holiday I don't hear people complaining about, wow, they got shit up already. It's fine with me. I think it's fine. Anybody who's into Halloween is fine with them. I think even people that like Christmas are like, unless they love Christmas, but most people they're like, yeah, like Christmas is cool. But when they see that shit up while the Halloween decorations are still up, they're like, the fuck is this Christmas shit doing here? Still got Halloween and Thanksgiving. All right, the next movie is They, Them. And I told you nothing about what Black Phone was about, pretty much. This one I will break the plot down a little bit. And this can also be seen on Peacock. So this is about, and I don't want to get canceled because I don't know the proper terminology for what I'm about to explain, because it's about gay kids and mainly gay, but then it's like trans, and I'm not trying to be offensive. I just don't know. Terms change so quick. I don't know what to call it. But it's a camp, and it's supposed to be a place where they can all go and be who they are, be their inner selves, and support each other. It's a safe place, basically. It's a camp that's a safe place. And it's got Kevin Bacon in it, which was funny because after watching Black Phone with Ethan Hawke, then watching Kevin Bacon, I felt like as these guys are like growing old together. Like they look like each other. I felt like I was watching the same guy, but I wasn't. And I don't want to give any spoilers, but I am going to give a spoiler. So just double tap if you want to go 10 seconds further and not hear this. But Kevin Bacon is a bad guy in this movie, which got me thinking. Kevin Bacon, because I always think of him as like, you know, he was a counselor in Friday the 13th. He was the hero in Footloose. He was a kick-ass bike messenger or bike courier in Quicksilver. And he was like, she's having a baby. It was like the 80s version of Knocked Up where he gets his girl pregnant and steps up. And, you know, he's a solid dude. And then, like, the 90s came and there was just no room for Kevin Bacon as a nice guy anymore. This guy's been a bad guy in so many fucking movies, like Sleepers. And not just a bad guy, but like a bad Sleepers. Jesus. What else? Stir of Echoes. That's spoiler alert. Sorry if you haven't seen it, but come on, the movie's over 20 years old. The Invisible Man. What I loved about that, another spoiler about the Invisible Man, was I thought it was just going to be like the old-fashioned Invisible Man. But the first thing he does, if I remember correctly, I haven't seen this movie since like 98 or 99. First thing he does when he turns invisible, he does what every 7th grade boy fantasizes about. He starts going to girls' houses and peeping on them and watching them change their clothes. Me and my friends used to talk about that. I'm not proud of it. That's just your fantasy when you're in 7th grade. You want to see a naked girl. You got a girl in your fucking English class. You're like, oh, I'd like to see it. You know, that's the beginning of it. You know, you're hitting puberty. You're just like, I'd like to. So it's like, what if you could be invisible? If I was invisible, you know what I'd do? I'd go. And that's exactly what Kevin Bacon did in this movie. It was awesome. Because it was realistic. And you didn't know he was going to be a bad guy yet. So it was kind of like, that didn't make him bad, but it was still kind of like, you know, Kevin, what are you doing? And then you're like, oh. And then what else? Wild Things. I'm sorry if I'm spoiling all these movies for you, but these movies are over 20 years old. But Kevin Bacon is a bad guy more often than not. Ever since the 90s, I haven't gone through and like IMDb'd his like movies from the last 20 years, but or more like 30 at this point. Has he played a good guy since 1990? But back to the movie. They, them, it's not good. It's not terrible. It's one of those where I'm wondering of like, because the audience, they had an audience in mind when they made this movie. So I think, I don't know, I'm an old guy. I don't know. But I feel like the intended audience upon watching this would probably feel the same way as I did. I'm waiting for people of like this woke generation and the people making movies for them. I'm waiting for the audience to just stand up and just see through it and be like, yeah, this is bullshit. Just make a movie. It's like, I don't want to watch a movie about gay people written by a straight guy. I don't want to watch a movie about black people written by a white guy. I mean, it's like Hollywood. I understand that you're trying to make room and make, you know, everything comfortable for diversity and all that, but it just does, like, you need to have diverse writers and directors. The actors are neutral, and whoever fits it, I mean, it's like, well, we're gonna have you. I don't know, because we're at the point where straight people can still play gay people, but white people can't play black dudes. So it's a weird thing. The gay people have to, but then if gay people are playing gay people, they act. I don't know. I gotta finish this. This does have a kind of a sweet, good taste to it. It's not too coffee-like. Like I said, if I'd have drank it first, I might have been like, ah. It does remind me, though, that don't get drunk off pumpkin beers. But I don't really need to give that advice, because I don't think anybody can do it. Because your body will just stop. It'll just be like, no, get a real beer. All right, so I'm chugging. Do I have anything else to say about they, them? I had more to say about they, them, but I don't want to give anything away because it is kind of a whodunit slasher. I can't say what I want to say because that would be mean. That'd be mean, not like mean, but it'd be mean to do that to you if you were like, oh, I want to go see that movie, or I've been meaning to see that, so I won't say anything. I'm glad this isn't like an oatmeal beer variety pack. I would have to stretch out. What we got next? The Great Pumpkin. And I think I'm gonna finish with this beer. Because I've already had the Night Owl. And I like the Night Owl, but not more than 2 in one sitting, or 2 switch to like a Pabst and then go back to Night Owl. But as far as like oh, I'm gonna, it's October, I'm gonna drink a 6-pack of Night Owl and watch scary movies. I tried that last year and it didn't work because it's just too, the pumpkin taste, it's too much after a while. So this is the Great Pumpkin, the Imperial Pumpkin Ale. Yeah, they all got a little bit of pumpkin spice to them. If you're a girl, you if you're one of those people that are like every fall comes and you're like, oh, I can't wait to get my pumpkin spice latte, you'll probably love these beers. But if you're only just like I like pumpkin pie, that's about as far as it goes, you probably won't. Actually, these would be good at a Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, I might have to save them. Some of them, those almost feel like they'd be better warm, which is funny because I bought this last night off the store that I shop at. They had them on the dry shelf. They didn't have any. They don't even have a spot in the cooler for them yet. I guess because it's too early, or maybe the store just sucks at marketing, or the salesman who brought them into the store. But it's like well, it looks like I'm not drinking those tonight. All right, the next movie, I'm going to wrap up these last two movies, which are both on Netflix. There's Someone Inside Your House. And for the first 5 minutes, this movie looked promising. As well as for the first 5 minutes, the title of this movie made sense. But after the opening scene, it was like, why is this called that? That makes zero sense. Had this been a 5-minute movie, it would have been the perfect title. Because there was somebody in his house. And this movie is very woke, too. In a different way. This is more cultural diversity, like in your face. Like all the white characters are bad or bullies or whatever. It's just like, okay. So the white people are bad and all the other guys are victims just trying to get by. I would love to do a full video on this, but I don't want to get canceled. I don't want them digging this up and being like, hey, look what he thought of this movie. But the movie was just like, it's a terrible movie, but I recommend it just because it's so in your face what they're trying to do. And that's why I want to do a video where I break it down, because I read some reviews on it after I watched it. And like nobody liked it, but it was for all the wrong reasons. They were just like, this is lame. This is like wannabe Wes Craven. It's like somebody watched a bunch of Wes Craven films and then tried their own hand on it, but it failed. It's like, it's a wannabe, I know. And it's like, oh, that's like, okay, yeah, there's that, but that's not why it sucked. It's like this preachy message it's trying to shove down your throat. It's like, what the fuck? Why is this in my horror movie? All right, that's all I'm going to say about that. It's on Netflix. Go watch it. Tell me what you think. Maybe I'm being a prick. I don't think I am. But, of course I don't. Otherwise, I wouldn't say it if I was being a prick. There's lots of things I could say that I know would be me being a prick, and I don't say them because I'm not a prick. And the last movie is Day Shift with Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg, and it's about vampires. And honestly, it's fun, and it's ridiculous, and it almost has like a feel of like late 80s, late 80s, like action adventure movies, kind of, because there's kind of a journey involved. Jamie Foxx is trying, he's working for the greater good. Snoop Dogg's in it and doesn't annoy the shit out of me, because I like Snoop Dogg to an extent, but he also annoys the shit out of me. And he even does it in this movie, where it's like he wants people to think he's a badass so bad, or it's like, I don't know, it's like he's got to play this badass character, but it's like, can you not see what you look like to the rest of us? You're this tall, skinny coat hanger. You weigh like $150, and you're like 6'6". I don't know what his actual dimensions are, but it's like, you don't look tough. You look like you need food, and you're a pothead. So it seems like eating should be just come natural to you, but somehow you kind of look the same ever since fucking 1991 or whatever fucking year that was. One thing this movie does do, the action, the kills are good. The fight scenes are way over the top, but that's what kind of makes them fun. Some was weird, like what Jamie Foxx can take. It's like, I understand why that person can take it because they're a vampire. like vampires could probably take more of a beating because they're immortal and shit. But you're just this like normal guy who hunts them. So like when you get slammed, how you should be fucking dead. But what this movie does do that's pretty cool, and I've never seen it before, and I'm not like Mr. Vampire movie watcher guy, but I've never seen this done before. And what it is whenever you see a vampire movie, there's always a part where like the vampire is standing by a mirror, and you look, and like he's standing by a mirror next to somebody, and you can see the somebody, but you can't see him at all. And one thing that's clever is when Jamie Foxx, this isn't a spoiler because it's the opening scene. It starts with a fight. The movie, it's nonstop. It's just like, as soon as it starts, it's going. There's like 2 minutes where you figure out, oh, what's Jamie Foxx doing? Oh, shit. And then it's like, buckle up. You're on this ride, whether you like the ride. Whether you think this is a fun ride or not, you're in it. But what he does is when he's fighting this vampire in the opening scene, they get near a mirror, and instead of Jamie Foxx just being there by himself, posing for the camera, the clothing of the vampire is there. Like there's a body in it, but there's no flesh. Like if it's long sleeves, you can see the sleeve all the way down, but there's no hands, there's no head, but the collar is open. And I thought that was a cool, because like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you don't have a reflection, but those aren't vampire clothes. Those are normal fucking clothes. I'd still be able to see those. Nobody's ever done it before. I don't know if it's because it's too hard and not worth it, but it was kind of like, okay, here's one thing, and I'm going to feel stupid. I mean, let me know if there's other movies that have done it. How cutting edge is this? Because I feel like this is the first time I've seen it, but like I said, I don't watch a lot of vampire movies. It's fun, cheesy. It's done well. Very CGI. That's about all I got, I think. We got through 3 of these beers, almost 2.5. If I had to rate them so far, I would say I like the Great Pumpkin the best. The Night Owl is good. I'm just not excited about it because I've had it before. That's all there is to it. It might be better than all 3 of these, but I'm not going to open it because my tummy's getting too full. But yeah, I like the Great Pumpkin because I'm normally like, I drink Pabst a lot because that's the neutralizer. You can't drink. Oh, I forgot to look at the percentage on this. What is this? Oh, this is 8. This is the strongest one. 8.4. Great Pumpkin. So if you're just buying a 6-pack of something and you're on a budget, bam! That's your buddy right there. Yeah, and that's what the Pabst is for, because you can't just, like, if you got to work tomorrow, you can't just, I'm going to kick back and drink 6 of these tonight and wake up early in the morning. That's a horrible idea. So the Pabst is the neutralizer, because I'm an IPA guy, normally. At least I used to be. I used to have a couple favorite IPAs. They either no longer make them, or they're just hard to find. Actually, they don't make them, and the one that they do still make is hard to find. That's crazy. I didn't think this was going to be the strongest. Okay, so if we go in order, weakest, stronger. If we're doing 3 little bears, this is Baby Bear, Mama Bear, and this is Daddy. And the Night Owl, I think the Night Owl is pretty tame because I've had it before. Yeah, I don't remember being surprised by anything. 6.7, that surprised me a little bit. All right. So, you're still the baby. Big brother, Mama, Daddy. Yeah, if you're on a budget and you're just gonna buy a 6-pack and you like pumpkin beer, this is where you're gonna go. You get this and go Red Halloween. Just kidding. I was pretending that video stores were still a thing. That wraps it up. If you like this content or you like this video, I don't do this content very often. I don't rate beers. But if you do like it, then hit like. Share it with somebody who you know likes pumpkin beer, even if you don't like pumpkin beer. And subscribe to my channel. Join my club, my journey. And for you guys that have always been there, I love you. I love new people too, though. So happy early Halloween, but I'll be seeing you pretty soon. Until then, see ya.